Hey, this is Jira. I'm playing Oxygen Not Included. And in this episode, I've decided to make pepper bread. So, the reason I did that is because the last episode I killed off all my critters. Just slow my game down. You can watch that episode if you're interested. But I need to find an alternate source of food, and I might as well increase the quality of barbecue meat. So, I chose pepper bread. And pepper bread has two ingredients: the wheat and the little hanging flour thing, which I can't think of the name right now, but that's okay. So the floury thing that needs to be hot, like 40 degrees or so, and the wheat needs to be under 5. So extreme temperature difference between the two, and I don't want that to leak amongst the base. So I have created vacuum around those two zones, and I need a lot more wheat than I do those pepper bready or pepper floury hanging down things. Okay. So I'm starting off at this point bringing in some brine, and the reason for that is to do some temperature regulation with the hot zone. I'm going to use that to heat up that little heat up machine, and that's going to make the bread. Was that funny? That's going to make the pepper hangy floury thing warm, and the other part is the cold one, which is going to produce, well, it's going to have pipes in it that will be chilled and keep the wheat, sleet wheat stuff chilled. So I'm going to need to source water and polluted water into these systems. The pinch pepper plants, that's the hanging flowery thing, that requires the polluted water, and sleet wheat requires water. I'm a little bit short on water, so I'm putting some of the polluted water through this system here to be able to increase my water supply, and the rest of it will be polluted water to feed the hangy plant things. Okay, so jumping ahead a little bit here, I have my first pepper plant. Don't know if I said it's a hanging flower thing. It's even been having a farmer's touch applied to it. But the main thing I'm concerned about right now is temperature. I'm getting that heat up a little bit. Have it set at 60 degrees where it's shining off. I might need to temporarily up that to 70 and get that to make that plant grow. We're now looking at the steam turbine. This is the thing that's going to keep the sleet wheat cold, and I accidentally put a little bit too much water on top of it. Didn't need that much, but it does not flooding, so I'm just going to let it happen. Now I want to have some water go underneath it. That's where the steam hot zone is going to be, and that machine is going to cool down polluted water. That's what I'm going to put inside that tank underneath it. And then I have a system to detect that if the sleet wheat needs to be chilled, the cold polluted water will be pushed into it, maintaining the temperature there to be below 5 degrees. But I don't want to be any more than lower than 0 degrees because I'm inputting water. And guess what? Water freezes when it's below 0. And that would break your pipes. And you don't want that because that's not happy. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this. You might notice those little pumps that are pumping out, creating a vacuum. I had this nice, just beautiful vacuum around this thing. And I did two things. One, the little liquid that was blocking off the pinch up pepper plants wasn't completely full, and carbon dioxide got out. Also, I tried to sweep up all the polluted ice, but alas, some of it melted, turned to polluted oxygen. All that to say, I scooped out all the polluted ice, patched up the liquid that's sealing off the carbon dioxide that's in those two chambers, and because I had a leak, or because I had some liquid in there, or not liquid, gases inside what I want to be vacuum, I just put all these little pumps in and pumped it out. So I've got my vacuum again, yay. So now I'm filling the liquid reservoir with polluted water, and there's a little temperature gauge next to it, and whenever it needs to be chilled, it'll go through the chilling system. And then there's a temperature gauge inside the sleet wheat that will pull in that polluted water if and when it needs to be chilled. Usually in my playthroughs, I'm always digging out the natural gas geyser and burning that to produce some power, but I want the super sustainable achievement, so I can't do that, at least not until I receive that achievement. But I need this for cooking, and you are allowed to use natural gas for cooking purposes, and still get the super sustainable achievement. But so I've got the two main ingredients to make pepper bread, but I also need natural gas in the cooking apparatus to actually make it happen. So that's why I've got all this together, and that's going to pull in natural gas up into my new kitchen, which is going to, well, maybe I'll demo that here. So there is my gas range I think this is called gas range. It accepts natural gas that I'm collected, and I've got a conveyor belt that's bringing down the two ingredients that I'm going to be growing my farms. And those ingredients are chilled, so they'll never go bad. But when Cook is able to have them put into the gas range, and I've got an auto sweeper there to actually automate that bit, they'll cook that, turn that into pepper bread. That will in turn be put through this little cold brick, and it itself will be frozen and be stored forever until one of my dupes eat it, pepper bread. So I started to notice that the water pipes that go into this thing started to freeze, and that's not good. So I put in a little bit of automation wire, and that's basically saying if only if I need water or polluted water will I allow it to be pumped in, preventing water to sit in pipes in a frozen zone. So that's it. The very quick overview of what I've done there. Really, the series I want it to be all about achievements. In the next episode, I'm certain at this point, after taking several detours, to be able to get back to it. And I'm going to do the moral high ground now. Actually, having pepper bread puts me in a really good situation to be able to get that. Anyways, I really, really hope, and pretty certain actually, that the next episode will be based on that. And I hope to see you there. Till then.